Hi, as we begin our third week, I do just want to say a few things about last week. We were covering research methods. As I look over the different slide presentations that the groups are doing, what I'm seeing is that you all are really engaged in helping to create a thorough and really accurate version of these slides right here. So nice job with that. On Monday, I'll be going through and providing the answer key to you, and that will be available in the week 2 learning materials. I'll post that link to the answer key, and then I'll also be giving individualized feedback, a little more thorough than what I provided on Friday when I went through. But so far things are looking really good. In terms of this coming week, we are going to be focusing on some pretty interesting topics. So we'll be thinking about gender and sex as well as sexuality. And to start off with, of course, you'll want to review the resources that are available. You have the textbook reading, and of course our weekly reading guide is there. You'll also be reviewing videos, and then your two graded activities are both a group discussion board similar to week 1, and then we're going to get into the project. So let's go ahead and go to the week 3 learning materials. I'm mainly going to focus on things that are a little bit different than in the past. Of course, you have the reading guide. In terms of the web links and videos, this is a fairly brief one. It is a summary of a research study showing some pretty clear bias in the way women are perceived in the workplace relative to the way men are perceived in the workplace. Second video that you're expected to review is this one on the links between homosexuality and some mental health challenges. This applies to both one of the discussion board questions, but is also material that you will be evaluated on the first exam. Since you're going into healthcare, I also wanted to provide this optional video for you, encouraging you to consider how healthcare and physical health is influenced by a person identifying as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. And then the final thing they'll ask you to review is a set of graphics. I have a PowerPoint right here. I do want you to look at the PowerPoint. This report from the CDC is optional. But the key is, the general theme is that data related to sexual health and sexual decision making has been improving quite a bit over the last 20 years. And I think a lot of times we have the misguided notion that the millennial generation is worse off, more promiscuous than maybe my generation, Gen X. And that's simply not true. The younger generation is really showing some really positive trends. All right, now your learning activities for this week, you have two things. One is a discussion board, which is similar to what you did in week 1. So this will take you to a Google Slides presentation, and again, this is similar to week 1. So you have a collection of topics that are available, and you will choose one, and if you want to reserve it, you can just reserve it with the title right here, and they will vary. Some of them are related to gender, gender development, what it means to be masculine or feminine. Some of them relate to sexual decision-making, sexual behavior. Like I said, it is improving. So one topic asks you to consider these improvements. This one is asking you to better understand some of the data. And then the final topic is related to this issue of health concerns that are specific to LGBT people. And so as you did in weeks past, you can go in to the discussion board for your group and you can reserve your topic if you like. And you can see some folks have already reserved topics, or one folk I should say. And then your first post must be completed by Thursday evening at 8 p.m. And then you have 2 responses. And I have provided you with some additional information in terms of what's expected to have a high quality post and a high quality response. All right, the second activity that you'll be focusing on, again, you're working within your group, and this is the first instance of the APR project. And so to access this, you would go to, again, your group, and then I've tackled this first week, and you can see I created a wiki page here, week 3. And this is looking at data that shows there's a link between taking hormonal contraception and being diagnosed with depression or taking antidepressants. So what I encourage you to do is first click on this link right here to get to the, you can copy the link and then paste it in at the top, to read the popular press source. This is coming from Allure. If you want, you can also look at the scholarly article, but you are expected to at least look at the popular press source. And then I've provided a research summary, and this is the kind of information you will be expected to provide if you are in charge of the research summary. You are not expected to tell me where you got the information. I'm just telling you where I got it, so you could use that as a guide for how to do your own summary. Now, after I've summarized the article, this was a pretty long article, so the summary is longer than usual. And of course, the professor is probably going to do a fairly long example. But I've also provided, since I'm facilitating the analysis, I've provided some questions for you to consider in the analysis. And as I have here, if certain questions are well addressed, I will delete them as the week goes on to direct attention to things that have maybe gotten less attention. So in order to provide a response to these questions, you would scroll all the way down and then click comment. You can see one person has already done a comment, and you can click here to read what others have written. And then you would enter your comment, and you need to be answering at least one of these questions. If you choose to answer more, that's great, but you want to make sure that you're answering at least one and then add it. And I'm going to be checking in 2 or 3 times during the week because I'm the facilitator of the analysis. And if I feel like maybe an answer is a little off the mark, or I'm wanting somebody else to perhaps provide a little bit more information, I will comment as well, just to try to guide or facilitate the discussion. I've come back to the announcement for this week because that is all of your required work for this week. I do encourage you to begin researching your WITS topic because your notes are going to be due at the end of week 6. I just want to make sure that you don't forget about this project right here. And if you are involved in the week 4 APR project, the one that's related to late night snacking influencing memory, you should have already gotten an email from me just giving you a heads up, but that work needs to be ready to go by Monday, next week, the start of week 4. It needs to be ready by Monday morning. So if you are involved in that, make sure you're working on this. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me via text or email, or if you have a general question, you can post it to the class discussion board here. Great work so far, folks. Keep it up.